Hi everybody, it's Courtney
And Dinah.
And Nellie.
We're coming to you guys today to talk a little bit about homeschool. I've had a lot of friends ask me a lot of questions, especially right now with a lot of the indoctrination that parents are finding out. A lot of conservative parents in our circle are finding out have gone on in the school systems. So, what used to be really weird to everyone has now become a very interesting subject to a lot of people in our circle. So, I decided to make a quick video just to share why we homeschool and a little bit of that I've learned over the past several years in doing homeschool. And I wanted to first say that, I'm involved with a lot of homeschool forums. It's simple, blogs and things like that where people go on and express their opinions, they give comments, they give advice, share stories, that kind of thing. You can also have an offline homeschool group of people that get together and kind of just share and go over, the things that they are dealing with homeschool and encourage one another, as well as share different curricula, different things that they encounter, that we encounter. It's really, really a great way to launch your homeschool. Is first getting a feel for, some of the other folks that are doing it, getting a feel for what it's about from them. First, I wanted to talk about virtual academies, because when you go online, a lot of the homeschool forums are going to down the virtual academies quite a bit. There are some negatives to the virtual academies, but it's how we started. It was a lot easier because we had a structure already set in place for us. And starting out with something as scary as homeschooling, there was a lot of support available to us. For instance, when we first started out, our family was assigned a teacher to our family. And this was this way all the way through high school, almost until the last high schooler we had graduated. Another pro of it, speaking of graduations, was that my children were able to experience the joy of actually walking across the stage. This is our son Dustin when he was receiving his diploma. And even though he had expressed that it wasn't something that he was so concerned about, we wanted him to have that experience. And he was glad that he had it in the end. That was a huge turnoff for us was once the Obama administration had gotten their hands on the school system, a lot of the curriculum began to change, not only in its practicality, but also in the Muslim indoctrination. And I know a lot of folks get upset, and they say, oh, she's calling him Muslim, that's racist, blah, 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 because of his name, and so on and so on. But I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. I'm going to show you the difference in when they got ready to go over. Dinah, my little ham, mommy's little ham. Now smile big, darling. I love seeing your little teeth. But anyway, one of the things that had bothered me was that when they got ready to cover the different religions and everything, they had things dealing with the Muslims, and it was stated like it was factual, dealing with Islam, the religion Islam. But all the other religions, it was stated as the Christians believe this, or the Bible teaches that, and so on and so on. So what I did when I saw one of the lessons come across my screen is I screenshotted it. So I'm sharing it now. So as I uploaded the pictures, I realized that I actually had taken a picture of the children's computer screen. And so it's a little grainy and it's old. It's from like 2014 or something like that. But this was the turning point for us. As you see, they present Islam as fact that Gabriel appeared to Muhammad. And the next screen, you have them saying that it is still one of the most important religions in the world today. And then the children have to go over being able to pronounce Islam and Muslim. And I believe this was like a third grade curriculum. After we got done with this, they ended up going into Babar the Great. And there was just a lot of time spent on the Muslim religion. One of the pros of having another one of the pros, should I say, of having the virtual academy, aside from getting set up, was that you can filter some of those things out. That's exactly what I did. I just let my children take zeros on those lessons, and we moved on to something else. And the teachers were aware. Most of the teachers that we were dealing with the virtual academy that we were with were Christians, and they understood our views. They were all homeschooling families themselves. Therefore, they were a lot of support in that sense too. They were virtual academy teachers because they wanted to have that freedom to homeschool their own children and get them out of that public school system. The other pro is that it gets you on a schedule. You remember, Melly, you guys I know it's been a while now, but you guys used to have like a scheduled time that you had to be on the computer to meet with the teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had to raise your hand.
It was usually at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock usually was their first class connect, although we started earlier because we like to do our Father prayer in the morning. We like to do our pledge and everything. And I like to prep everything on the board, let the children know what to expect for the day, what kind of class connects they were going to have, that kind of thing. But it really helped with scheduling and giving you an idea of what a good schedule, a good class day looked like. So I really liked that. And it got you into the practice. It got me into the practice of what to do with homeschooling. So, like I said, some of the cons was heavily the indoctrination. And then a lot of real history was left out. A lot of true history was left out. Science was never told from a creationist point of view at all, although they shared evolution, which, Dinah, does mommy look like a monkey? No, mommy put you on the spot, huh? Do you look like a monkey?
No.
But if we go to the zoo, when we go to the zoo, do the monkeys look like monkeys, darling?
Yes, ma'am.
They do, huh? And so what I wanted my children to know, I want to make sure that they understand that we are humans. God created everything after its own kind, and monkeys were created after their kind. And we are the ones that God gave the ability to rule over. That was his blessing to us. So anyway, fast forwarding, I'm going to show a little bit of some of the curricula that we're using now, and it's through Rod and Staff. So this was the beginning of our 2018 fall semester shipment, and it's part of the books. We hadn't received them all, but as you see, they have books like A Time to Gather, A Time to Plant, Building Securely, just good, wholesome academic books and textbooks. And I enjoy teaching the children how to respect their books. They're excited about their books when they receive them or when they transition from one to the other. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to have each one of you guys share a little bit what you chose for your favorite subject, what you just can't wait to tear into this school year in homeschool. We'll start with Melly.
Okay. Well, for one thing, my canvases, I bet you can guess what that is. My favorite subject in school is art, and I cannot wait to dive into.
And Dinah, what about you?
My favorite subject is math.
Math?
There's all sorts of numbers in it.
And you can't wait to learn your third grade math? Right. And Danny?
Multiplication math.
Multiplication math. So yours is math. You want to hold your book up? Can't wait to dive in, huh? Well, you can hold up. That's your little test. Those are the tests that you're going to do after each chapter. Can we see your face? Thank you, guys. Mom can't wait for us to start instruction also this year.
And so this is just a little footage of right before we start instruction for the first day of the fall semester or the spring semester. We go through book distribution. Most of the things that we receive brand new are going to be the worksheets and the test booklets. The other things, Mom spends a lot of time online looking for discounts, and we take this time to explain that to the children and let them know that, hey, Dad spent a lot of money on these books and they've got to last, and they've got to last from one child to the other. Another thing that I think I left out of some of the narration in the video is that in the state of California, if you decide that you don't want to do the public school curriculum through the virtual academies and you just want to be a private school on your own, between October the 1st and the 15th every year, you have to file what's called a private school affidavit. And on it, you have to list, and for instance, in our household, we list Dad as the principal, Mom as the teacher and the administrator, and Grandma is actually the children's recreational facilitator. So we list her also as one of the teachers in the school, and she takes them to the park. She gets out there and she plays with them, has a great time with them for PE, and she makes sure that they're getting all of that recreational time that they need, as well as recess time. And we have a very, very strong support system in my mother-in-law. She not only helps with the children by taking them out for their recess, taking them for their PE time, but also making their snacks and helping out with lunch. And during that time that she takes them, it gives me time to put my feet up and relax for about an hour out of the day. And they come in and the children are tired and they've had a great time and they've bonded with Grandma. So we really appreciate that support system, and we solely and wholly suggest having a support system in place. You may not be Christian. You may be thinking about homeschooling for other reasons. We've met a lot of families that homeschool for many different reasons, but ours is because the writing staff is Christian, but it also teaches life lessons. Like when Danny and I got ready to crack open, I'm looking over at Danny who said he didn't want to be on the video today. When we got ready to crack open Danny's new math book, it was his English book. The English book, we were dealing with speech at first and grammar. And it literally said that you want people to look at you as an intelligent person, as you're representing the body of Christ. You don't want people to look at you like, basically, I think it said something to the effect of someone that's unintelligent, unlearned. You don't want that to come across to people. So that's why it's important that you learn how to speak correctly. That's why it's important that you learn how to write and structure your sentences correctly. And so I just love that. And it goes just into how to carry yourself and everything. It has a lot of that in it. You're going to find that all throughout it. And then there's also a more practical teaching style there. Right now, Melly is starting out. You're on writing your numbers, right? We're doing writing your numbers. And what's the biggest number right now that you're doing, like in the
7 trillion. I think 6.
I don't want you to memorize the lesson we did, but
billion.
I know what Mommy's saying, darling, is that you're in the trillions. She's learning how to write them in number form as well as spell them out. The first time that she did it, she didn't do so well. right? And that was a little sad. But today is Friday for us. How did you end up doing today on it?
Well, the funny thing is, in homeschooling, you can take it again until you get it right. That's how you learn it.
Right. And
So, yeah.
yeah, what Mellie's saying is we move at our own pace, basically. If mom feels like there's something that she didn't grasp, then we can go back and we can do it again. So the first day, she didn't do so well, but today I want you to share your wonderful grade you made.
I made an A+.
Right. So she got every single one of those problems right. And that's not easy. And Dinah has done very well also. You want to tell?
I got an A+, too.
You got an A+ too. That's right. And that was much better than before, right? Than your first day back at school?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you remember what your first grade was like on your math?
No, ma'am.
You don't remember? Okay. It's okay. But I can tell you that she's improved. Danny, you want to holler out what you did? How well you've done?
I also got an A+.
Danny also got an A+.
She got a 90% the last time.
She got a 90% the last time. That's what Dinah got. But she got an A+ today by the end of the week because we studied it and we worked on it and she got it right. And the children like to earn their grades. They like to make sure that what they're getting is earned. And so that's one of the things that are important to us. And working at it and then receiving that good grade and receiving bonus points even really, really causes them to dive in and just do so much more. Anyway, I felt like this was something I wanted to share. I wanted to share the pros and cons of virtual academies. And then I don't have any cons. I don't see any cons with Rod and staff right now. The only con I could see is if people wanted to complain that it's an older curriculum. And that is what we wanted. We wanted something traditional. They don't change their curriculum. One more thing that I wanted to share. This might end up going into 2 videos because of the length of time. But one of the things that we did also is I went online and I went to a couple of different websites and I found used books. And because they don't change that curriculum or they haven't changed their curriculum in such a long time, the books that I found like at Second Harvest, Publishing, I think is what it's called. And by the way, I'm not receiving any kind of money. I'm not endorsing Rod and Staff. I'm not an affiliate of any kind. I just truly believe in their product. But Second Harvest was somewhere I went and I was able to find discounts on their textbooks because it can get pretty expensive. We're at a point where, because the last children are 2 years apart, where we're only having to purchase for Mellie for the next few years. And Rod and Staff only goes to 10th grade. And then at that time, we'll be reconsidering whether or not we're going to put her back in virtual academy so she can have that junior year and senior year in virtual academy and have that senior year experience of graduating. Anyway, that's about all I had to share. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is going to be 1 or 2 videos, but I wanted to share and make sure that I got everything in there. I'm sure there are a lot of other questions you might have. Please feel free to leave any questions in the comment section, and I will make sure, or my husband will ask me and make sure to get the answer posted to the best of our abilities. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Dinah, say bye.
Bye.